Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Story Behind the Hymn. So last week we had not one that was on our normal radar. It was actually, something that was happy and cheerful. But guess what?
We're back to persecution.
We're back to persecution. So, yeah. So what do you got for us this week, Jamie?
All right, so your 3 clues this week are 2,000 hymns. Obviously not all are in our hymnal. I don't think we have.
This person authored 2,000 hymns?
Yep, this person authored 2,000
Holy.
hymns. Your second clue is
accomplished.
False doctrine.
Ooh.
Yep.
Well, that'll be interesting. Was he accused of false doctrine, or he was pointing out false doctrine? Because with 2,000 hymns, I can't imagine that you're the one accused of false doctrine.
And then last but not least, Moravian Brethren.
What does that even mean?
Obviously, our clues gave it away right off the bat.
2,000 hymns.
False doctrine.
False doctrine.
Moravian Brethren.
Well, if you guys are up on your,
Your brethrens.
Your brethrens, you would have totally guessed this hymn, right? Here we go. Jesus, lead thou on, till our rest is won. And although the way be cheerless, we will follow calm and fearless. Guide us by thy hand to our fatherland. So yes, if you guessed hymn 718 in our hymnal, Jesus, lead thou on, ding, 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 you would be correct. Good job.
And thank you, Kathy Herbst, for submitting this one as your favorite hymn. It is a good one. Good message. Yeah. It is written by Count Nicholas von Zinzendorf.
No, you forgot. Count Nicholas Ludwig.
Oh, I didn't have that.
It's in the hymnal there. Right there.
Count Nicholas. It doesn't get more German than that, right?
Zinzendorf.
There's a lot of Z's and other vowels that are in there.
Yeah.
But he is the author of this. He was born in Dresden, and he was the son of a very wealthy nobleman. And his family had some pietistic sympathies, so this was kind of the time where you're getting away from a very staunch religion, and it was starting to incorporate more feelings, which is very abnormal to Germans.
Oh, yeah.
So we kind of have that going. But as Count Nicholas grew up, he became very interested in the Moravian Brethren, which ended up being a persecuted sect in parts of Europe.
Oh.
But he became so interested and involved with him that he actually donated part of his land and part of his estate to them so that they would have a place to live and become a community. And so that the colony of people actually grew to 600 people. So this had to be quite the estate that they had.
I was going to say, if he had that much land to house 600 people.
Right.
It's like a little small town in northern Wisconsin.
Yes, exactly. There's probably a Dollar General and a gas station there. But obviously then, because he donated all this land to them in this space and was so involved with them, they eventually named him their leader, their bishop. They ordained him as a bishop. So, but as all good stories go, there's no happy ending. Eventually, this caught a lot of criticism from the wider community at the time. And so back in 1734, he was exiled for false doctrine.
He was exiled?
He was exiled, yep. So basically then he spent his exile it was his property. I don't know how you exile them from their own property, but whatever. He spent his exile time just traveling and preaching and studying God's word and writing hymns. He ended up writing a whole bunch of different hymns, 2,000 in all, but most of them they would not include in a hymnal because they were considered too emotional.
Oh.
And so our hymnal today has 2 of his hymns, Jesus, Lead Thou On, and then Jesus, Thy Blood and Righteousness, which I think it's in the 500s when I looked at it. So.
Okay.
Eventually, his exile was rescinded. He was able to return home, but he died a very poor man. He spent his entire wealth and fortune on ministry, on
Sounds
different
like
religious,
a good church worker to me.
yeah, different religious work and supporting others. So,
So I'd be curious to see, like, did they stop believing? Did they not like what he was preaching? I mean, what was the false doctrine part of it?
I could not find like what the false doctrine was that he was preaching, other than at that time there was a big shift in religion, and so the different parts, like where his hymns were deemed like too emotional to use, they just felt like they almost became irreverent in the descriptions of Christ's suffering.
Okay.
So I think they just were too emotional for his liking, and probably was focused on things that they didn't think he should focus on. So
that's crazy. Yeah, 563.
Okay.
Jesus, thy blood and righteousness, and then 718. Jesus, lead thou on. Which I mean is a very sound hymn.
Yeah.
If the way be drear, if the foe be near, let not faithless fear o'ertake us. Let that not faith and hope forsake us. For through many a woe to our home we go.
Yeah, I mean, it focuses on trials, it focuses on temptation, it focuses on Christ being our guide, which doesn't feel emotional. Just the truth.
It's a good way to live life, yeah. Well, Nicholas Ludwig von Zinzendorf, 1700 to 1760, so he was a very youngish man when he
died before America was even thought of.
Jeez Louise. All right, well, there you go. Now you have it. Jesus, lead thou on. Nicholas Ludwig von Zinzendorf, 2,000 hymns. Good
Only
church.
2 made the cut for the Lutherans, though.
Good church worker, wandering the land, poor, supporting his own ministry. There
Accused
you go.
of false doctrine.
This is an interesting series, I will say. I never would have guessed half the stories behind all of these.
So much history behind the authors of these hymns and the hymns themselves. It's unbelievable. You just think like somebody's like, oh, I need a hymn for this occasion, and they write a hymn for the occasion. And nope, it usually comes out of some big personal experience. So.
All right, well, be sure to join us next week as we take another look at Story Behind the Hymn. See you then.
Jen and Jamie on a Thursday.